Hey, Sarah. What's up? All right, we're all recording our little behind-the-scenes stuff. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Here's a look at the studio, by the way. There's our studio. Here's the weather center. Here's the green screen. These are the little computer monitors or TV monitors that I see, and that's how I point. So anyway, I wanted to do another update, again, our behind-the-scenes kind of stuff about tomorrow because of the potential for snow. It's never easy when you're trying to figure out how much snow we're going to get. There's always a lot of challenges. It's the most difficult type of forecasting. So we look at a lot of different things, try to pin it down as best we can. There's always question marks, and there are here. But I'm leaning more toward a rain event with a little snow on the backside here in Lincoln, some heavy snow in other parts of the state. So let me give you the rundown. I'll show you some of the options, what could play out. There's a couple different scenarios, but and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So I'll try to keep it quick. Here's a look at what we always like to show you. This is more the simplistic stuff without getting into a bunch of the upper air and what's all going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but I want to run through kind of the different options. And this is the latest stuff. You can see it's not even completed yet. But this is one of the latest sets of data that's coming out. And something that strikes me about this one is how much moisture it has to work with. This is already by noon tomorrow, and it's got a fair amount of rain, some thunderstorms in eastern Nebraska. All this on the backside would be snow. And then that's as far out as I can take you. But that points to a stronger system than what it looked like just a few hours ago before we got this latest information. So that's something I'm watching out for. And as far as the snow goes, this is as far out as this computer model will take us. So you can see just how much. Look at some of the crazy numbers it's putting out for parts of central and western Nebraska. In some spots, it's trying to say close to a foot. I don't know about that. Maybe. We won't see anything like that in eastern Nebraska. Regardless, if you're traveling anywhere through central, northern, western Nebraska, eastern Colorado, Wednesday, it's going to be a mess. The general consensus here in the eastern part of the state has been closer to about an inch, maybe in some spots 2 inches. This is another model, and it's got this secondary band that develops on Tuesday night after midnight. And if that were to happen, we could be seeing more than an inch, maybe a couple inches, even in the Lincoln area. Here's another one. This is a little bit older, but it's in good agreement, which we like agreement. So, and then here is yet another one, and this is a different one, and it's got a few little spots where it picks out some accumulating snow, but by and large, you see this. This is a snow killer. It's what we call a dry slot, and it's something that you always want to watch out for when it comes to snow. And here it is again, big dry slot with this one, and that's been pretty prevalent. So I'll take you to the old one, the new one, old one, new one, dry slot. That's a problem if you want snow. And then this one's kind of a mix of them all. This is the European model. It does great in the United States, but we call it the European. It's got that big, heavy swath through central Nebraska, western Nebraska, and much lighter down here. The reason why we would be seeing less down here is, one, because we'd have less moisture in southeast Nebraska, and two, because we're going to see a later switch over from rain to snow. In fact, let's look at this is this is the one that you see on TV. Let me scroll through and see if I can find it for you. There we go. It's what we call Stormcast, and it does a really good job. Honestly, this is a pretty solid one. So what I want to point out here, a little bit of rain possible tonight. It won't be much. Rain in the morning. That's 10 o'clock in the morning. Take you on into the afternoon. What do you see? You see this dry slot, this air down here that just doesn't have much rain with it. Heavy snow to our northwest. And then as it goes further through the day, I mean, still, it's saying not even much rain for the Lincoln area. And a lot of times, more often than not, when I see a dry slot, if I look at 4 different scenarios and 3 say no dry slot, 1 says dry slot, the dry slot usually wins out. It just seems to work that way. So we get into the afternoon and evening. This is at 9 o'clock, and it's got a later switch over, which I think between 7 and 9 we'll see the switch over here in Lincoln, and then just a brief period of fairly light snow on the backside. If this lasts longer, we could see more, but again, I'm going off of what I think is the most likely scenario. So let's talk about some other things. First off, the winter alerts, none in southeast Nebraska. This is from the National Weather Service. and they don't see enough of a threat to issue a winter weather advisory or anything in southeast Nebraska. It starts to our northwest. This is where we could be seeing some light accumulations possibly, and then heavier accumulations in the winter storm warning, as we showed you earlier. So kind of put it all together. Precip, I think rain through the day. This is mostly rain with some snow for Lincoln Wednesday night. Wind is a big deal here. Don't sleep on that one. Very powerful. Still looking at gusts of 50. Travel is going to be worse to our north and to our west. This is something, though, as we get that rain and the snow on the roads Wednesday night, temperatures will crash pretty hard, and I think we could see some freezing, so some icy spots certainly possible on our Wednesday night. So as far as my latest thinking on totals go, this is what I put together. I'm thinking an inch or less generally in southeast Nebraska. You could see up to an inch. Some spots you'll see half inch. Some of us won't hardly see anything. And then that 1 to 3 band in the blue, 3 to 6 by and large through here. Some spots way higher. I think 9 inches in some locations, maybe even a little bit more. So that's what I'm thinking now. Not a major winter event for Lincoln. The bigger story is going to be going from the warm weather that we had today and yesterday to a pretty mild morning. And then the winds pick up, the temperatures crash tomorrow afternoon, and it's just going to feel drastically different. And then we'll throw a little bit of snow on top of it. So that's the latest. That's what I have for you. And I hope that you strap down whatever you have in the back patio as far as furniture goes, because it'll probably blow around. All right, take care.